Good morning and happy Thursday, y'all. I am Tara Hewlett with Back Pain and Sciatica Center of Texas. My husband and myself are the founders of Back Pain and Joint Center of Texas, here in Conroe, Texas. And I come every Thursday on live with you guys and share with you guys different recipes that our family has incorporated in a low inflammation diet that we have been implementing over the past year. And why is a low inflammation diet good for you? Well, it helps you to heal and recover better and is easier on your whole body and system. So that is something, like I said, we've been doing for the last year. And so I just come on and show you different recipes that we use regularly in our house. And now I always like to make a note that I am not a doctor. I am not a chef. I am not a nutritionist. I am a wife and mother, and this is how we just eat and incorporate this into our everyday lifestyle. So today we are going to make roasted cauliflower tacos. So when we first started, it was how can we incorporate more vegetables and more things that are healthier? And so we would do this, and sometimes it's good to eliminate meat. Sometimes we eat meat like every meal. So we would do this as one where there's not a lot of meat. And you can add meat if you would choose, but this is a great one just to do like a vegetarian, vegan dish. Sometimes those are good to have. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and start with our cauliflower. It's just a organic, or you take the wrapper off, cauliflower from the grocery store. And let's go ahead and cut all these leaves. So I just like shove my knife into the bottom here and just and it pulls right out, really simple. And so there's just a few more. Got to get those, break them out. There we go. All right. So we'll go ahead and just cut all those off. How are you guys this morning? Hello, Terry. Good morning. Is cauliflower something you guys eat regularly at your house? That is something we have incorporated over the last year more than ever as a great substitute. It's funny how something just pops up and like goes crazy. The cauliflower pizza. We do cauliflower rice, and we do like cauliflower mashed potatoes and stuff. So I guess I should have said what a low inflammation diet also consists of. It consists of no dairy, gluten, and sugar is what we pretty much have eliminated from our diet. Let me rinse these off really quick. Let's start with that. Let's throw them in our colander. Good morning, Gigi. I have kids walking in. Let's give it a rinse real quick. All right, so now we're just gonna cut those down to more of a bite size. Can y'all see the cutting board? I feel like you can't always see it. So they're not so big. So yes, yeah, we're kind of, the past year have really been using more cauliflower, which is surprising. It's not something you would always think to use, but it's a great alternative and it's good for you. I'm gonna go ahead and slice these. Sometimes I dice them, so you can do it either way. I'm slicing them kind of thin like that. Or you could do more of a dice if you want. Either way will be great. I have done it both ways, sliced and diced before. All right, things getting full. Let's go ahead and we're gonna put them in a bowl so we can toss them with some seasoning. Let's finish cutting the rest of this head of cauliflower. big like this, I would just slice that in half, like so. That way it's not like a huge piece in your taco. Nobody likes that because it's awkward to eat it. We've been talking manners with our kids, and so it's awkward when you go somewhere to like a restaurant and they give you something that you have to put in. It's like this whole piece and you have to open wide. So trying to make them more bite-sized is better so it's easier to eat. Okay, those ones are little. Okay, so we're gonna just put them all in our bowl. Get the little pieces off my hands there. All right, so I've told you guys before, I love Primal Kitchen. Their products are super good and clean. So this is their avocado oil. So we're just gonna drizzle some of that on top. And then, that was like a teaspoon and a half. Okay, so sprinkle a little bit of salt. And this is the real salt. Really good, clean. It's like unrefined. And it's here, I think Salt Lake. Is that where it's from? Oh, Utah, not the Great Salt Lake. Okay, and let's use some cracked pepper. Give it a toss. So we get all of them with cracked pepper on them. Okay, then we're gonna use, start with a half of a teaspoon. Oh goodness, this is where I'm not great at getting the tops off of my spices. So I wouldn't recommend what I'm doing. I have to use a knife to prop it open for me. All right, so this is goodness, I'm having trouble here. Smoked paprika, just a half of a teaspoon. Smoked paprika. Then we will use some cumin. Same thing, I have trouble here. Let's do 1 teaspoon. I love cumin, so we're gonna use a teaspoon of cumin. And then now for the cayenne, my children do not like spicy, so we're only gonna go like a 1/4 of a teaspoon of cayenne pepper because my kids were like, this is so hot. Just like a 1/4 of a teaspoon of cayenne. All right, let's give that a stir, get them all coated. Okay, so you can see they're starting to get coated there. We'll just flip them a few more times. A few of them aren't as coated. All have some flavor. Yep, there we go. Now we're gonna throw them on our pan to throw in the oven. And I already have my oven on broil. So turn your oven on broil and we're gonna put them in there. Now if you don't, you can put it on like high, like 400, 425 and let them roast there. I'm kind of, I like the broiler. I like it nice and crispy. So try not to get them all on top of each other. Spread them out a little bit. Give them some room so they can all get roasted. Okay. All right. So now we have our, I'm going to set this aside because it's for later. Okay. Cauliflowers in the oven. Let's dust off our cutting board. Okay. just go ahead and peel that sweet potato. You know what, before we do the sweet potato, let's go over to our black beans. So I like to put, you do not have to, you could do these whole or mashed. I'm gonna mash mine today, but we're gonna go ahead and start with our black beans. Let's get those cooking and add those to our tacos. That way, while the sweet potatoes are cooking, these can cook and they'll be finishing up around the same time. So, I like to drain my I like to drain my beans when they come in a can. I don't know. I don't like the juice they're in. So, that's just water. I don't know. It kind of like bubbles when you wash them, so I feel like you should wash them. So give them a good little rinse for a second till all the bubbles start to go away. Alright, gave them a good little rinse and shake them off. We're going to throw them in a pan. Or in a pot, I guess I should say. And I'm going to add just a little bit of extra water. Now, like, let's say that was probably, I don't know, half a cup to a cup. I'll measure that out. Okay, so now while those are cooking, and I'm turning that on medium high, we're going to let those cook. And let's throw in a tad of cumin. Like a half of a teaspoon of cumin. It was like a little over a half a teaspoon. It came out faster. All right, so let's finish peeling our sweet potatoes. Okay, then we just cut off the tips of them. Peel the other one. I love this peeler, it's super fast. We got it one time when we were out of town. We were visiting, my husband's family is from Hawaii, and so we were visiting them and found this potato peeler there, and it's super good. Good morning, Brenda. How are you? Y'all having a great morning? It's lovely outside today. All right, so you can do this one of two ways. You can slice it like this and then stack them and dice them. If I can get them stacked. So they're, you know, like this size. Or you can cut your sweet potato in half. And then like a fourth, I guess. You'll have them all. So you get 2 pieces from each half. And then dice it. Whichever way, they're gonna be the same size. Either way, whichever way is easier and faster for you. I guess more natural. But both will work. It's kind of easier this way because it's not as thick. Let's see. This one's kind of shaped funny, so it's a little bit harder this way. So this one I'm gonna have to cut like this. So it just varies each time. Yeah, we'll see it this way. All right. Do you ever do, we try to do like once a week or so sometimes, like a vegetarian night. So not every night is full of meat. because then it's easier on your system to be able to digest and give it a break, since vegetables are easier to process. Okay. So I'm going to use the same bowl, and we're going to go ahead and throw in our sweet potatoes. And then same thing, coat it with a little bit of the avocado oil. So if you have olive oil, that's good too. Avocado is just a little bit cleaner, and you can cook it at a higher temperature. So that is good. A little bit of salt, just seasoned salt, and some cracked pepper. You don't eat a lot of meat, Stephanie. Oh, well, good. So you do a lot of, your husband eats meat in every mouth. Go figure, right? Typical. So then you do, what do you do? What are some of your favorite since you don't eat a lot of meat, your dishes? So we're gonna go ahead and toss that around. And let's season it with just a little bit of cayenne. That was like, probably like a half of a teaspoon. So we're just gonna toss. Okay, now let me grab this pan over here. Sorry, y'all, one sec. Okay, and we're gonna toss or throw in our sweet potato into our pan. Sorry, I stepped out of sight there. And just spread it around. All right, and we're gonna do the same thing. Throw these in the oven and let them toast up for a minute. Okay, so our cauliflower, let me show you how the cauliflower is looking real quick. A hot pack. See, we're starting to get a little toasty, and the edges are starting to brown a little bit. So let's toss it around so it can be even. All right, and we're gonna throw that back in and let those cook up. Can they fit? No, not gonna close. Okay, so those are both on the broil and getting started. So I'm today gonna go ahead, sometimes I do this, sometimes not, but I happen to have some radishes. Oh, minestrone soup. Oh, yum. Okay, let's give our radish a quick little rinse. This will give it some additional color and crunch. It's nice when you have a meal that has like lots of different flavors and textures. So you get some variety there. So we're just gonna go ahead and slice this up. We just need one radish. Okay. And I like to stack mine. I think it's easier to cut it when it's stacked. So I just put it on the cutting board, stacked like this. You guys gotta tell me if you can see what I'm cutting. And then I'm just gonna slice it thin. So we're slicing it like about that thick, pretty thin. thing, just slice that whole one up. You see any ones that got a little big. All right. Let's check on our beans. They're starting to cook. Let's give them a little mix. Okay, so more children are walking in. Okay, you can't see. Thank you, Stephanie. It's hard for me to tell like where it's at. I feel like it's cut off. Okay, we're gonna do on top of our tacos, we'll do sliced avocado and guacamole because my kids are huge guacamole fans and they prefer to have their tacos with guacamole. So for their sake, I will make them some. Which I didn't get a tomato out. Let me grab that real quick. Okay. And a bowl. It's nice when I have my helpers in here with me. But they're doing school right now. So they can help me find the things in the kitchen I'm needing. All right, so you want it to make sure your avocado is a little bit soft. And you know what? I don't know. My thing is always to go to the grocery store and feel that they're a little soft. But then also, you don't want, like when you take out that seed, or that little piece there, you don't want that middle to be like super, super green. You want it to be a little bit brown. I don't know. I think everybody has different techniques for finding avocados. This one's not as soft as I would like it, so. All right, and then how I get the seed out is I just throw my knife into it and then pull it up. You have to be careful with that because you could slice your hands, so work on that technique. And then I just scoop it with the spoon around for it to all come out. It is helpful when I have kids in here helping me. This one's, you know what? I don't know. I had my husband go to the grocery store last night and get me avocados. So this one is not as soft as I would like. We'll see how it's gonna do. Sometimes it's a little bit thicker. We'll see. We're gonna have to put a little bit of elbow work in there to smush it down. Needs to be a little bit riper. It's good for a sliced one. For the guacamole, we'll see. And here our beans are cooking down, so it's good. You want to kind of cook your beans down as much to get the liquid out for this, for the mashed part. You know, sometimes you win some, you lose some. I think we're losing on this avocado. That's what happens when it's live, right? Real life here. So typically whatever I make for the live is our dinner for tonight. So the kids are all sneaking by to be like, what's for dinner? We'll save it and eat it this evening. All right. And then our tomato. And then I'm just gonna dice this up nice and fine for your guacamole. Now, okay, this is where things get like, everyone's different. I have always grown up and put lemon juice. Oh, I can't talk. Lemon juice in our guacamole. Some people do lime. Either way's good. We are more of a lemon fan here. All right, put all those in there. So let me grab my lemon here. All right, so I just cut about like a little less than a half of the lemon, and I squeeze it into my palm to catch all those seeds and let the juice run through. I do have a lemon press, you can use that. Get that juice out. It's best to use your lemon press if you have like, you know, a scratch or something on your hand because that burns. And I just like salt, and so do most of my kids. When my husband makes the guac, he usually puts pepper and onion in it. I just like it avocado, tomato, and lemon and salt. All right. Now, what I do like to do with guacamole is because you make it and it looks super sloppy in the bowl because you've been like smashing it. I usually will transfer it to another bowl. I know, it makes an extra dish, but if we're having people over, it looks way neater. So see, that looks way more presentable than in that bowl. All right, let's check on our cauliflower. Oh yes, look at that. Let me raise up the sweet potatoes. I like to put them on the highest level rack. That's the word, rack. Look how good. See, they're all toasted up. I like mine crunchy. Now, my daughter did tell me she doesn't love her sweet potatoes so much with that on it. I do. I prefer the brown crunch on there. That's my favorite. Okay, let's check our beans are almost done. Okay, so now let's go ahead and our tortillas. So I think I've told you guys in the past, I'm not sure, what we use for our tortilla, since we don't do gluten, is this brand, the Siete. And my kids prefer the almond. They have, I think, a Casanova flour too, but they prefer the almond flour. That's their favorite. We will do sometimes, though, if we want more, just to keep it really clean, we will just do a lettuce wrap. Like a romaine lettuce typically is what we'll do. So let's turn on our thing. And remember, we have issues with our, where it wants to like click, click, click. I have to light it. I don't know what it is, but all right, let's give that a second to warm up. Get those beans almost done. Okay, and then, okay, so this is how I like mine. I put some sweet potatoes in the oven earlier so they'd be ready, since a couple things were going in the oven to time it. It looks burnt, but this is how I prefer mine. Toasted, I say toasted. My daughter says they're not. But I like it because it's crunchy. That's how I prefer mine. She doesn't like it that way. So I will keep an eye on these to make sure they're just barely brown. Well, I like mine more black because I really like that crunch that it has. Okay. Our beans are boiling down. Let me show you. See, there's hardly any juice left. It's, you guys see all steam. It's a lot of beans. So we can go ahead and start to mash these. And I will just use a potato masher. We're just gonna mash that. You're just seeing all steam, huh? Down. Now, like I said, at the beginning. Oh goodness. Sometimes we don't mash them. Sometimes we just put it in the taco as the bean and mash, but just the black bean. Give it a good little mash. Sometimes you might have to add, there was a little bit of water left in there. And sometimes you might have to add some water so it's not too thick, but this is, oh my goodness, that's perfect. Came out perfect. Let me show you. Look, see, it's like perfect. I'm not gonna say refried bean because that's out of a pinto bean, but mashed black bean. All right, so we're gonna take our, just one tortilla at a time. Put it on your pan. I will tell you, my husband does love to do, he likes his just straight up on the stove top. So you can do that. That is nice because it gets a little bit of those edges. Apparently we like it just a little bit with the, my daughter says burnt, but like toasted. So this does cook faster than on the pan. So if you're in a hurry, you can do that and just, oh, that actually stuck. See how it like toasted it? It's super yummy and it smells super good. Turn it on low. All right, flip it. Okay, so we can go ahead and start getting that ready. Oh, let's slice. Like I said, some of us like it with slice, some of them like it with avocado, or guacamole, sorry. So let's slice our avocado. So I just do it, sorry, I got a tickle in my throat. I just go to the top and then bring it back. And then I just go around the edge. And then it helps pop them out. So they're like this thin, kind of like paper thin, so they're not too thick. Set that one aside. Okay, so now we're gonna take our tortilla and just get your mashed black bean, and you're just gonna spread it at the bottom of it. Oh, here we can do it. We'll cook one more. Get that one going. All right, so then we're gonna take our, I am out of all my stuff. Utensil. Well, we get a Christmas utensil spatula. Cauliflower, sprinkle that in there. Look, not looking good. Oh my goodness. And then, oh my gosh, where did I put everything? Oh, here we go. Our tongs with our sweet potatoes. Okay, see, that's looking good, right? Now, we can add a little bit of our radish in there, just a little bit. Some added crunch will be good. And then, if you prefer with the sliced or the guacamole. All right, there we go. Super yummy. All right, you guys have a great Thursday. Oh, and do not forget tonight, what is it, 5 to 7 is the open house at our new building. So hopefully I will be up there and my kiddos so we can say hi to you guys and get to meet you guys. So we're super excited. So you guys stop by this evening for open house. Y'all have a great day. All right, bye.